Hi, first graders, it's Mrs. Para. We are going to practice some handwriting. All right, before you run and go grab your handwriting book or your pencil or anything else, I want you just to stop and watch me, okay? Don't get any of that stuff yet until after you watch this video. Thank you. All right, now we are going to work on a review how to write uppercase I today. Now, I know when you look at uppercase I, you might think, oh, that's easy, right? Well, it is easy, but it's not really all that easy to make your uppercase I look exactly like this one here, okay? So I want you to listen very carefully to my instructions, okay, of how I write uppercase I, because I want to teach you how to write it the correct way too, okay? Now, a lot of times when we practice our handwriting, we always focus on the letter that we're practicing, right? Now, I always tell my friends that when we practice our handwriting, it's also really important that we are practicing our name too. Okay, this whole page is handwriting practice. So when you write your name on it, that's also your handwriting practice. Okay, practice of writing your name. Okay, the handwriting, the letters in your name. All right, so the first thing that I grabbed, it's my nameplate. Okay, you're not going anywhere yet. You're still watching me. Okay, when it's your turn to get to work, you're going to grab your nameplate too, or maybe you have it taped somewhere in your workspace. It's right in front of you. Okay, if you don't have your nameplate, then maybe you can find something in your house that has your name written really nice. Okay, or you can have the adult that you're with write your name with each letter looking exactly how it's supposed to. Okay, all right. Now take a look here. When I practice my name, put it right in front of me. All right, let's see the first letter. I look at my first letter first, right? The first letter in my name is M, uppercase M. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a look at that M. Okay, let's see. This uppercase M goes from the skyline straight down to the grass line. So I'm going to make sure that my uppercase M does the same thing. And I'm going to take my time and try to make my uppercase M as close as I can to the uppercase M on my nameplate. Okay, did you see how slow I wrote that too? Okay, because I was taking my time and I was really concentrating on how I should make each line there. All right, next I have lowercase r. Oh, I noticed that my lowercase r goes between the grass line and the plain line. So I'm going to make sure that mine does too. Same with my S. Okay, I'm going to continue. And before I write each letter, I'm looking at my nameplate and paying attention to how each letter looks on my nameplate, because I want my letters on my page to match how those letters are written, because that's the correct way. Again, notice how slow I'm writing. Okay, we can't show our best handwriting unless we're taking our time and going slow. Okay, all right, well now I've practiced my name. Now it's time to get on to the letter I. All right, when we practice our handwriting, the first thing we do is we always take a look at the letter inside this black square here. Okay, this reminds us how we write each letter and how many times we pick up our pencil. Okay, how many lines or strokes we need to make. All right, see this teeny tiny number 1? That tells us that that is the first line that we make. That is where we start with our pencil. Okay, we start at the skyline. We go straight down to the grass line. Okay, see number 2's up here? That means we pick up our pencil, head back up to the skyline, and we draw a line right under the skyline. And then our third step, our third line, is on the grass line. Okay, so we take a good look to remind ourselves how we write our I, and then you may use a marker to trace the I's that are already on your paper. Okay, now this is really important. We only trace with marker. You never write in marker. We only trace in marker. Also, I tell my friends, okay, that we take our time and go so slow when we trace, and we use the tip of our marker here, that our marker should never really go outside the black line. That's how you know you really took your time. Okay, so again, when I write uppercase I start at the skyline and I make a straight line down past the plain line to the grass line. Nice and straight. Then I pick up my pencil and I go back up to the skyline, and I'm going to make a much shorter line across the top on the skyline. Okay, and I'm going to make that same line on the grass line. Now notice my line up here on the skyline and my line down here on the grass line, they're the exact same size. They're also in the exact same spot. Okay, this longer middle line is in the very middle of these two short lines. That's important. Okay, let's do another. Again, I had to do that really slow to take my time, okay? And I really hope that you do too. All right, so you're going to trace, taking your time, of course. Then after you've traced each eye in your page, then you're going to grab your pencil and you're going to practice writing some on your own, okay? These dots here are to remind you where you begin when you write an uppercase I. We start at the skyline, okay? And we draw a line straight down past the plain line to the grass line. Okay. Then we pick up our pencil, go back to the skyline, and we draw a line across the skyline and then along across the grass line. Okay. Can't really see my lines from where you're on the camera, but they're there. Okay, again, notice how slow I went. I'm taking my time. Okay, and again, your line on the skyline and your line on the grass line should be the same size, okay? If your uppercase I went down a tunnel, it should slide right through. Okay, what we don't want to see is our top line being much longer than our bottom line, okay? Or our top line being shorter than our bottom line, okay? Something else we don't want to see. Oh, I guess that wasn't so bad. Oof. Is that straight? No, definitely need to erase and try that one again. Okay. Also, even worse, you know what sometimes we see teachers, it makes us really sad. Ugh. Sometimes we forget to even hang on to our pencil till we get to the grass line. We can't do that. We need to hang on to that pencil, take our time straight down to the grass line. Line on the top, line on the bottom. Okay. All right. Now, eyes, they're only made of 3 lines, right? If you take your time, I am sure your eyes will look like mine. Okay. All right. So we trace all of our eyes. We practice eyes on our own. Then we come down here where the names are that begin with I, and you trace each name nice and slow. Again, we trace so slow that our marker should never go outside the black line. Really slow. So we trace the name, write the name, trace the name. If you'd like to trace all the names first and then write all the names with pencil, you can do that. Okay, but it's also important as you write each letter here, you take a look at the letter that's right above, the one that's already there for you. Just like when I wrote my name, I looked at each letter and paid attention to where each line should go in each letter. That's what you should do for each letter in these names here too, okay? Then you come down here and trace the sentence in marker and then write it with pencil, okay? All right, if we can follow all of those directions, your handwriting practice, well, first of all, you'll get a ton of practice out of it, which is awesome. Okay, and it will look really beautiful and it will make your teacher super happy. Okay. Oh, also, really important handwriting rules. When we practice our handwriting, we need to sit in a chair. Okay. We don't sit on the couch when we practice our handwriting. We don't sit on our knees by the coffee table when we practice our handwriting. We're not on the floor when we practice our handwriting. You need to be in a chair, sitting up nice and tall. Okay, that big long bone in your back, it's called your spine. You want that nice and straight, and you want your feet on the floor. My feet, they're on the floor. Okay, that's really important too. It's impossible for your body to show its best handwriting if you're not sitting the right way. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Now you guys may head out and get your nameplate and your handwriting book and your pencil and your marker if you'd like to trace, and you may get to work. All right. We can't wait to see your uppercase I's. Bye.